In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
On the very day that we mark ourselves prominently with ashes, we read, "Beware of practicing your piety before others in order to be seen by them, for then you have no reward from your Father in heaven." Our imposing ashes might seem to contradict the gospel, but it really depends on us. It depends on whether we receive ashes in order to be seen by others or not. If we receive ashes to please others so that our parents, our priests, our people on the street will think well of us, then we miss the point. If, on the other hand, we wear the ashes, not so that others might approve of us, but so that we ourselves might be reminded of our incompleteness and our mortality. And not just a reminder of our own incompleteness and mortality, but of everyone's, then we act in the spirit of the gospel. Recognizing our limitations, our fallibility, helps us to identify with others, to break down the walls we place between ourselves and others. Have you noticed how people can be so compassionate when they see an animal that is distressed, but cold as ice when they see a human being in a similar condition? The reason is, I think, that we often assume that human beings have the ability within ourselves not to enter a pleasant situation, or at least to get out of them, whereas we assume that animals are incapable of affecting their environment, the utter victims of whatever happens to them. And I think we underestimate animals and we overestimate people. When we see that we are all incomplete, imperfect, sinful, we become more compassionate. We've not truly grasped the gospel until we see people as God sees us. Most of us have the tendency to imagine ourselves to be superior, in charge of our fate, in control of our destiny. We make plans, we start relationships, we decide on careers and think we know where we're heading. Ashes remind us that this is an illusion. They remind us that nothing we have achieved will remain. Nothing endures other than our effects on others, both good and bad. As Christians, we realize that the only difference between us and those guilty of notorious sins is that we know that we are incomplete and corruptible. They still think they're not. All evil comes from the imagined ability somehow to escape our human frailty and limitation, to figure out a way to avoid the challenges that we must all experience, to cheat death, to rise above all the other humans that ever existed. We think we'll be the first to figure out that trick that lets us get by without any messiness, any pain, any loss. Each new generation contains people who think they've found a way out, a way to avoid the effects of our frailties or our imperfections. Whether through power, or theft, or lies, or manipulation, they think they will rise above the human condition. They will cheat reality, to be superior to all those suckers. Except it never works. People keep telling us that they have the answer. By my book, I have the answer. But ideology after ideology fails, only to be replaced by another and another, all of which are going to produce utopia, all of which justify our caring more about ideas than we care about people, all of which lead to what Christians call sin. No amount of cheating or manipulation or ideology will ever fill that hole in the human heart. Only existing humbly with one another, working together, meeting problems as they come, and loving one another in our incompleteness will provide us with joy in this life. Yet many never give up that fantasy of overcoming corruptibility. Our bodies are corruptible, and we grow corrupt trying to avoid it. People spend their lives chasing after false solutions rather than just working together to do the best we can. As Christians, we're called to acknowledge humbly that we are imperfect, incomplete, impermanent. These are bodies, dependent upon one another, dependent upon God. And in that acknowledgement is freedom. The freedom to love, the freedom to lift others up, the freedom to be rather than to seem, which is the motto of this faith. And even the freedom to walk away rather than to be trapped by others' ideologies. We can accept the boxes others put us in, or spend our lives fighting them, simply ignore them and focus on God. Only this last solution provides any amount of freedom. I've known people who got so caught up in fighting one ism or another that they were completely controlled by the ism. They couldn't see it. They were going to use their power to force others to conform to what they knew was right. They had more in common with their enemies than they wanted to admit. Both were addicted to power. Freedom comes when we let that go and we admit our incompleteness. We set aside Lent to focus on our imperfection, not as some act of masochism, oh, I'm so horrible, I'm so sinful, but of embracing freedom, embracing God. We accept ourselves and others as we are. Give up trying to be superior. Let go. Begin to love. To work together. So people often ask, is it okay to wipe off the ashes as soon as we leave today? It's less of a pressing question for you than it was for people. We can do that, but we then may forget that those ashes were ever there. By leaving them on our foreheads, we're forced throughout the day or evening into an awareness of the impermanence of life and the enduring effects of love. We're forced to contemplate the truth about all people. We are dust, and to dust we shall return.